Hello and welcome to homework 8.045. This is sort of like a mid-unit review homework. It's going to be a little bit of everything we've done so far. Alright, so we're starting with kind of multiplying monomials. So the way these work is we multiply the numbers by the numbers, the x's by the x's, and the y's by the y's. So you might be saying to yourself, well, what number is over here? And you just have to remember that there is that 1 that we can always write. So negative 6 times 1 is still just going to be negative 6. X squared times x to the first, alright, x squared times x to the first, when we multiply letters we add their exponents, so that's going to become x to the third. And then here we have a y to the first times a y cubed. 3 plus 1 is 4, so that's going to be y to the fourth. Okay. Same thing over here, only we're going to multiply and then also have to combine like terms. So this is 2x to the first, so we're going to distribute that out. Alright, let's first just bring the 5 down because that's not going to change. Alright, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. X to the first times x to the second is going to become x to the third. Negative 2 times negative 4 is going to become positive 8. And now here we have an x to the first and a y. There's no other x's to multiply with. There's no other y's to multiply with, so that'll just stay x, y. Now on this one, we can't actually combine anything. A lot of times with these problems, you'll have to then combine like terms, but 5 can't be combined with any of these, x cubed can't be combined with these, and xy can't be combined. There's no like terms there, so we're done after that. Alright. The next one is factoring out GCFs. Alright, so on this first one, you've got to find the GCF for the number and the letter. So we've got a 5, a 2, and a 1. Alright, so when you've got a 1, that's pretty much going to be your GCF because you can't go any bigger than that. Alright, so the GCF is going to be the 1. And then we have an x cubed, x squared, x to the first. We always have to use the one that has the smallest exponent, so that's going to be our x to the first. So that's our GCF. Now to factor it out, that's where we actually going to have to do the division. So 1x to the first, 1x to the first, 1x to the first. So the 1x comes out front, and you don't have to write 1x. You could have just written x. That would be fine as well. 5 divided by 1 is 5. X cubed divided by x to the first, we subtract the exponents when we're dividing, so 3 minus 1 is x squared, minus 2 divided by 1 is just going to be minus 2 again, and then x squared divided by x to the first, 2 minus 1 is 1, so you could either write that as just x, or you could write it as x to the first if you wanted to. And then finally, 1 divided by 1 is still going to be 1. X to the first divided by x to the first, 1 minus 1 is 0, and anything to the 0 power is 1, so we can just leave this here as a 1. So that would be our final answer for this one. Okay. Now on number 4, again, we have to find our GCF, so we have to find the number and the letter. If we can take out a letter, we're not always going to be able to. All right. Now, what you can do for some of these is if you don't know how to find the GCF, you can break out your calculator. You can go to Math, Num, and then it's choice 9. And on one like this, you would start by using the biggest two, 15 and 10. And then you would get an answer, 5. And on this one, it's kind of obvious, but normally what you'd have to do is use the answer that you got, which was 5, and whatever number is left over, which is also 5 in this case. So obviously the GCF of 5 and 5 is going to be 5, but that's how you do it when there's 3 numbers. You start with the first 2, and then you use your answer and the number that's left over. So our GCF here is 5. Now, on this one, we're not actually going to be able to take out a letter because this is y squared, this is y to the first, and this one doesn't have any y at all. So if it doesn't have any y at all, we're not going to be able to divide out a y. All right, so our GCF is just going to be 5. The 5 comes out front, and we're left with y squared. You could also write 1y squared if you wanted, minus 3y. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then 10 divided by 5 is 2. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 5 here. All right, so the GCF of 4 and 8 is just going to be 4. And then we have a b squared and a b cubed. We have to use the smaller of those two, so that's going to be b squared. So both of these are going to be divided by 4b squared. 4b squared. The 4b squared comes out front. And then 4 divided by 4 is 1. B squared divided by b squared is b to the 0. So you can kind of think of that as they just cancel out. And then on the other side here, 8 divided by 4, or negative 8 divided by 4 is going to be a minus 2. B cubed divided by b squared, 3 minus 2 is 1. So that's a b to the first, or just a regular b there. All right, last but not least on the front here. The GCF of 9 and 81 is going to just be 9. And again, you can do that on your calculator if you're not sure what those are off the top of your head. And then we have an x cubed and an x cubed. So we're just going to use the x cubed because they're both the same. And then we have a y squared and a y to the first. We always have to use the smaller of the two. So in that case, this would be y to the first. So each of these is going to get divided by 9x cubed y to the first, 9x cubed y to the first. All right, so that goes out front. 9x cubed y. You can write the to the first, or you don't have to. It's the same either way. 9 divided by 9 is 1. All right, x cubed divided by x cubed. 3 minus 3 is 0, so the x's basically cancel out. Y squared divided by y to the first. 2 minus 1 is 1, so we're left with just 1y. You can write to the first there. It means the same thing. And then here we have 81 divided by 9, so that's minus 9. X cubed divided by x cubed, 3 minus 3 is 0, so they basically cancel out. Y to the first divided by y to the first, 1 minus 1 is 0, so those will cancel out, and we're just left with this 9 here. All right, so that would be your answer for number 6. Take a look at the back. All right, these are the combining like terms. Subtract 4x squared plus 2x minus 1 from 3x squared plus 2x minus 7. So the big thing here is to remember from means first. So we're going to put this in the front, and we're going to put it in parentheses because it's one big expression. 3x squared plus 2x minus 7. And then we're going to subtract this piece, which we're also going to put in parentheses because, again, it's just one big expression. We're subtracting the whole thing. Now, this one has a positive 1 in front. Multiplying by positive 1 does not change anything. So this first part stays exactly the same. 3x squared plus 2x minus 7. This one has a negative 1 in front. Multiplying by negative 1 does change things. So this is going to become minus 4x squared minus 2x plus 1. All right, now that we have all of that taken care of, we can combine like terms. 3 minus 4 is negative 1x squared. 2 minus 2 is going to cancel out. And then negative 7 plus 1 is going to give us a negative 6. All right, so our final answer would just be that right there. All right, number 8 says find the difference of 2x squared minus 2x plus 3 and 5x cubed minus x squared minus 4x plus 1. All right, now difference is not a turnaround word, so we're just going to leave it in the order that they give us. We're still going to need those parentheses though. So 2x squared minus 2x plus 3 subtracted by 5x cubed minus x squared minus 4x plus 1. Okay? Again, positive 1 isn't going to change anything, so this one stays the same. Negative 1 does change things, so this becomes minus 5x cubed plus x squared plus 4x and then minus 1. Now we're going to combine our like terms. So we've got x squareds that we can combine, we have x's that we can combine, and we have just regular numbers that we can combine. Now the only one that doesn't have anything we can combine it with is this negative 5x cubed. So I'm just going to write that first, because usually we put the highest exponents first, and then I'm going to do my combining. 2 plus 1 is 3x squared. Negative 2 plus 4 is going to be a positive 2x. And then 3 minus 1 is also going to be a positive 2. So that would be our final answer for this one. All right. Last but not least is our double distribution. So that's where we just do them one at a time. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times 8 is plus 8x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6x. Negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. Okay? We then combine our like terms, and we get 3x squared plus 2x minus 16. All right, let's try one more of those, and then we'll be done. All right, so 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 5x times minus 5 is negative 25x. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14x. Negative 7 times negative 5 is going to be a positive 35. Last but not least, we combine our like terms, and then we're left with 10x squared minus 39x plus 35. Okay. All right, I hope this was of some help, and have a nice day.